Basketball Podcast Season 2. I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
Hey, I'm back, fellas. I'm Cherno in the building. What's up?
Special guest in the house. And we are back to discuss the news, players, teams, anything going on around league from the previous games from the previous week. And man, has it been a crazy week of NBA. First off, the trade deadline was last night or yesterday. And let's just get straight into it. The bigger trades, the biggest trade, it's been rumored for the past week. It's been rumored for a long time, even before that, with a few of the players. One player being frustrated in New York, the other player being frustrated in Philly, going as far as not even playing. Well, all of that is out the window because James Harden is going to the Philadelphia 76ers and Ben Simmons is going to the Brooklyn Nets, along with Seth Curry and Andre Drummond, as Cherno's sister bullies him. Jadeem, I'll let you talk first because I know you love James Harden, and I know you really want to comment. I know you really want to comment about this.
My sister bullies me, what?
All right. So, Jadeem, what's your thoughts? What's my
thoughts? Well, if you want to know my thoughts, just go back to the old episode of when he left Houston. That whole thing. That's my thoughts. All in one right there. You know. He was throwing a tantrum. He was getting upset. He was moaning, getting upset, crying, talking about he wants out of Houston because they have no opportunities to win. Comes to Brooklyn, perfect situation scenario, back with his old teammate and one of the greatest players ever in Kevin Durant, one of the most skilled players ever in Kyrie Irving, gets an opportunity to win a chip. Things don't go his way, and look what he does again. Is there really much to say at this point that I need that hasn't been done before? I think I said it when he left Houston. He said it when I said it when he left Houston. He does it again. Talking about weather, I want you basically going to Philadelphia. You act like as if it's going to be different in Pennsylvania, but okay, I guess you're upset, you're unhappy, and I guess you go win with Philly. Don't get me wrong. I will admit this. One thing I'm happy to see how him and M.B play. I feel like that's going to be a beautiful duo to watch. But I'm sorry, mine's is short, sweet, and simple. There's not really much to say. If you want to hear me, go back to that episode when he left Houston, way back.
I have a feeling Harden may not be your favorite player in the league.
I don't like him now. I don't like him.
Oh, now we get to the Brooklyn Nets fan. What do you think about this, Cherno?
To be serious though, it's like the James Harden. It's like last year. We could have won the championship if everybody was healthy. James Harden is he came to us overweight, not in shape. That's the main reason he got injured with the hamstring and things like that. Came looking like Sturton. And
nobody knows who that is. But keep going.
And then hold on.
As Cherno gets distracted again, I would go with my thoughts. James Harden. It's almost similar to Jadeem, in which that he was frustrated in Houston because they weren't winning. He goes to the Nets, big three, KD, Kyrie. A season later, he's frustrated again and wants to get traded. He demanded a trade with Houston. Now he demanded a trade with the Nets. And clearly he wants a ring. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
He didn't really demand. He didn't demand that in public. He's in the background and shit.
He didn't demand it in public because he just demanded it a year ago.
Yeah, but with the Nets, they wanted to trade him now because it's they can't trade him in the offseason because it could be tampering rules. Because even the reporter said on TNT, he said the Nets wanted to do it now because during and they didn't want to do it during the offseason because they can't tampering rules and stuff like that. Because like James is close to the GM and the majority and like owner of Philadelphia of the Sixers. Yeah, and also they could be because you know how the NBA is, bro, tampering and shit like that.
All I gotta say is a little bit too is like, you know, I look at this situation and it's just like, you know, him having to come to Brooklyn, the Nets had to give up a lot of important pieces. Mind you, they was already good enough to win with KD and Kyrie. I just want to say that right now. They were perfect to win with just KD and Kyrie, in my opinion.
Because we had the pieces. We had the pieces.
Exactly.
And we had the role players. We had
exactly. Like y'all had everything. And y'all had to give that up for this man to come here, just for him to do the same things. And you have to give up, like, well, don't get me wrong. You get some shooters. You get Steph Curry. That's great and all. You get Ben Simmons, who's a great talent, and Andre Drummond, who's a great inside presence. But like, you know, you still had to just like, you know, like, I'm just like, it get like, why do all of this? Like at this point, like
it's like nah. But I don't blame him for leaving though. It's because like he's not because also you got to think about the Kyrie situation too. Because if I was him, I'll probably leave too. It's like this guy, because like Kyrie, he's only serious when he wants to play. He's not serious when he doesn't want to play. And like, even though I respect his stance on the comeback for me, I don't even like the COVID mandates and stuff like that. But it's like for me, it's like because like he hasn't won a championship yet, and he's trying to win. And it's like with Kyrie not playing, he doesn't feel like he's motivated enough to stay on his team when everybody else on the team is not motivated to like be fully locked in for the season. So it's like I feel him why he left, and also the New York taxes. So,
but do you feel like where do you feel like it's a better opportunity for winning, Brooklyn or Philadelphia?
Brooklyn, but it's like but I feel like Philadelphia did get better, but it's like they're not gonna win at the end because to me he's just basically in the same situation he is with where he was a couple years ago with Dwight Howard. It's like the same situation, but Embiid's better.
Yeah, and
if Embiid's better, then that's not the same situation.
Yes, it is because it's like you have two polarizing figures who think they're stars and stuff like that need the ball and things like that.
Nah, not think they stars. They are stars.
They are stars. My apology, but you have these two egos, and they're gonna have to figure out how to play with each other. Especially Embiid needs the ball most of the time. Especially Embiid right now, he's the front runner for MVP in my head, in my eyes, front runner. And now bring James Harden. Is James Harden gonna feed Embiid as much as he was getting before? Is James Harden gonna get the same amount of shots? So
well, he better respect the type of talent that Embiid is as a big because they could both spread the floor.
Yeah, but also it's like Harden needs like a rim runner, and like I'm not sure it needs like that, like a rim runner, because him rim running, if he rim runs a lot, he's gonna get injured. So I don't think that because like he's gonna be like most of the time a post player getting out from the perimeter and things like that. So
that makes sense, but I say with that though too is like, you know, I feel like there's a difference between I can understand what you're saying comparing it to the situation with the White and having to play with those situations in hand, but you understand the play style though too. I feel like with the White is like, you know that he's going to be operating in one specific area, which is always in the post. With Embiid, you could get multiple things. Like you could get post, you could get mid range, you could get outside the three, and like he could operate exactly everywhere, anywhere. So Harden basically has to respect the fact that he's not going to be. He might be playing with a big who's as talented as the White, but this dude could give you way more of a package than what the White did when he was in Houston. And you have to learn how to sacrifice the opportunity of certain situations of probably like last second shot should it be between him or him, just like how he had to probably deal with that being in Brooklyn between KD, Kyrie, or him taking the last shot.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think Harden has learned from that because of his time in Brooklyn. When all three of them were on the floor, who was the point guard?
James Harden.
Okay, then so why can't he just do the same thing in Philadelphia and be the point guard and facilitate to Embiid just like how he's facilitating to Kyrie and facilitating to Kevin Durant?
Yeah,
I feel
you're
like he's
right.
learned a lot. He hasn't played with Dwight Howard since 2016.
But the one thing about to me at the end of the day, I don't think that I think the team has gotten better from the Ben from when they had Ben, but it's like I don't feel like they're gonna win in the East because they have other teams to contend with now.
Mm.
Because
So
they have Chicago, Milwaukee, Miami, and now Brooklyn. So it's like because like to me, I just feel like Harden might regret this at the end of the day, and to request a trade because it's like you had it all in Brooklyn. Like all you really had to do was like
stay committed.
because I think if he would have stood, they probably would have won the championship. Even though I still think Brooklyn's still gonna win the championship after the trade, but because possibly won a championship this year.
well,
But it's like for Brooklyn's side, the James Harden experiment was a failure. So, and they trade all their pieces for nothing. It was a failure. So,
we talked a lot about the Sixers and Harden. Well, how about the Nets? And the Nets again, Ben Simmons, Andre Drummond, and Seth Curry. How do you view the Nets? Do they get better? They get worse? Is this a great trade for them? You know,
I wouldn't say they got worse. I say they got a little bit better, but only time will tell in terms of how they work with it. I feel like with Ben Simmons, like you basically got somebody who people will be saying like he should operate more like a Draymond Green type of player because he can't shoot and stuff like that, and how usually, yeah, I know I see it too, but
yeah,
and
that
how
never popped up. Whatever, keep on.
and how it usually would be, but for somebody like because with his ability to shoot, but you need to understand for a big for a dude of Ben Simmons size to have that ability to see the floor and everything like that and just to do everything else, you know what I mean? You're not asking him, you don't really care if he shoots, believe it or not, because that's where all the others come in. You got KD, you got Kyrie, you got Patty Mills, you got Steph Curry who can help you spread the floor, so it could be interchangeable sometimes too. And I feel like their defense gets way more better and their interior presence get way more better with having Andre Drummond finally.
I completely agree with you on that. But it's like I think they have gotten better because like they finally got the necessary role pieces that they have and necessary shooters. Especially I think that will help Ben Simmons a lot because like with Ben Simmons, he doesn't have to do too much that he had to do on Philly because he had to be the secondary scorer and be like the second star. But he has already two bona fide superstars on his team that can handle the scoring load. Like him, he could just handle guarding the best perimeter player on a team, facilitating if he really wants to, playing the four, playing the point guard anytime you need him to. And also he could just kick it out to shooters. And also I think it really spread out the floor for him because it's like you can't really sag off as much as you really can with him now because now he could just like go to the rack because he has shooters and he could just kick it out to shooters and they can shoot. And Seth Curry, I think he's gonna be really big for them. And Andre Drummond too is gonna be really big for the Nets because one thing the Nets had problems with was their interior defense and their rebounding.
Rebounding. Yeah, Andre Drummond's gonna be big for them rebound.
Nicholas Claxton is always injured. Marcus Aldridge, he's not really like that offensive rebounder that could get you second chance points, but he's a good like post threat and things like that. So,
Interesting take. That's cool.
All I gotta say is, I guess Giannis is laughing right now, huh, Evan?
You got Serge Ibaka, bro.
You say Giannis is laughing. Why is Giannis laughing?
You remember their little squabble, their little beef? I can run and dunk all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it requires no skill. He got his team to a chip. Son that Harden is still trying to look for.
And you didn't have to do all that,
Oh no! If he wants to do this, I have all right to do this. If he wants to do this, trust and believe. If he wants to, get upset just to get out of New York, then trust and believe, I got all right to do. He probably just couldn't handle the New York thing.
All right. Well, That was a trade. Ben Simmons to Brooklyn, along with Seth Curry, and Andre Drummond. And also, I think they got two second round picks. For James Harden. James Harden going to Philly, playing alongside Embiid. Other notable trades that we should talk about. That y'all want to talk about?
Let's talk about Porzingis and the Wizards.
I don't really care about Porzingis. Haven't cared about him since 2017.
But listen, because like the reason I care so much though is like Porzingis is actually like playing better. If you this season, he was better under Jason Kidd actually unlocked him, and he was the one who was anchoring the defense on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like now Luka is like, what's the point of getting Spencer Dinwiddie? Like, what's the point? Now you're just making Luka's job harder because Spencer Dinwiddie's not really an off-ball kind of player. Because he's coming from a starting role to a backup point guard role again. So it's like, and they already got Jalen Brunson. So it doesn't really like that trade doesn't really like make sense to me. It's like I think you just want to get rid of Porzingis.
Yeah, which I don't know why.
Because Mark Cuban, because Mark Cuban lately has been feeling like Porzingis was probably like a failure because also Porzingis was always like getting injured every time he just started like getting back to where he used to be in New York, and then boom, he just gets injured. On the Wizards side, they're trying to get Bradley Beal to stay, because they want to like show him that they are retooling the roster for him and possibly be a playoff team.
Yeah, speaking of Bradley Beal, for everyone who doesn't know, Bradley Beal is out for the season, and the Wizards traded Harrell in Charlotte, Dinwiddie for Porzingis, and I don't know if this is gonna make Bradley Beal stay. To be honest with you, I don't think this is enough. I think Bradley Beal is gone.
If you say from his
I understand.
Like if you heard it from his mouth, he said he loved being in Washington, but you see how far loyalty could take you. It's a business at the end of the day. It don't take you much.
He loved Portland too. Look how far loyalty got him now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, CJ's in New Orleans. We didn't cover that. CJ McCollum's now in New Orleans. That's a weird trade for me.
I feel like it's great for the Pelicans.
Yeah, it's great for the Pelicans now. But Johnny, how do you feel about it though? Because I know those are your guys right there.
Yeah. Who did we get? I know for a fact we got Ingles, but that wasn't in this.
He's out for the season.
He's out for the season, and the Jazz that was
foul. That was foul.
Yeah, that didn't sit right with me.
That didn't sit because he was supposed to be there. Udonis Haslam right there, bro. He's supposed to. Guys,
Ingles is their guy. I mean, what? I thought they loved Ingles.
Nigga, he was there. He was there from before the Donovan Mitchell Rudy Gobert era, bro.
Yeah, he's there since Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, well, I don't know. In Portland side, I don't know what they're trying to really do still, especially with Dame. I can understand if they're trying to build more with Anthony Simons, because Anthony Simons is tough. Let's just be honest about that. He's tough.
He improved.
Yeah, he improved way more as a scorer after being in development in front of both of those guys. Like
I said last year, Johnny, with Jeremy Grant, somebody got to score.
Exactly, but I'm just like, they still want to try to build around Damian Lillard. I want, like, the dude is about to be like 33, 32, and it's just like
I don't get like they're trying to free up cap space, I think, but if they have been paying attention, they have one of the best players of the past decade and of this generation in Damian Lillard, and that still has not been enough to get anybody to come over there. Yeah. It took Melo to be out of the league for him to finally say that I want to go to Portland.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I keep looking at the Blazers side. I'm just like, I don't know where they're trying to go. I don't know if they're in the middle of wanting to rebuild or they still trying to stick with Dame. But at this point, I think Dame is just over it. That's one. So again, that's what happens when you're too loyal. And I can respect the loyalty aspect, but at the same time, it's a business. You can't be loyal in a business at times unless if it's yours.
You should go to Washington.
And on the Pelicans side, I look at it great. You talk about a mixture of, well, I know Zion is questionable.
Yeah, I seen that graphic with Zion, Ingram, and CJ. I'm like, why is Zion there? He hasn't played. Like, can he get healthy and then you put him on there?
Yeah, but in terms of where this team is trying to go, in terms of trying to build something up there, in terms of culture and trying to be in the playoffs and stuff like that, I can respect it because again, you got a young talent in Brandon Ingram, who's having a great season. By the way, should have been an all-star snub. You got, again, even though it's questionable if they still sticking with the Zion experiment, we already know what he could do. He's a once in a generation type talent, in my opinion. And just the mixture of young guys and veteran guys that they got, and you see that they're trying to do something, and you see how. Wait, who's their coach again? I forgot their coach.
Who are you talking about?
Willie Green.
You talking about Pelicans?
Green.
Yeah, Pelicans. Green. Yeah, it's like they're trying to do something down there. So you just want to see how much they could do. And adding CJ is perfect with his experience and his play and his play style. I feel like the Pelicans did well with this trade.
To go back to Portland though, it's like Portland, I think they're just in a rebuild mode because they realize they're not gonna like do anything with this team because it's like I think this team has passed like that era with CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard has run its course because I don't think they're gonna get a star to build with Dame's. Because I think eventually Dame is just I think they're just trading everybody to get some pieces to rebuild, and after that, probably this offseason they're gonna find some trades for Dame to possibly like send him to a contender. But also I'm very mad at Portland for what they did to CJ in that trade. Cause like I want him to go to a contender. Like the Pelicans are contenders. Basically, like with CJ, I think he should have gone to a contender. I think he should have went like Philly, one of these contender teams that he could really help out and boost their. Because I feel like with New Orleans, you never know. You don't know if Zion's ever gonna get healthy and fully play a season. Because we all know Zion's a once in a generation type of talent when he's healthy. But like with the Pelicans, the ceiling they can go is the most is like a low seed or playing team. Like yeah, CJ McCollum is gonna help out Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson a lot on the court, especially with his offense. But it's like I think New Orleans, they didn't need CJ. They needed like a point guard. Like maybe if Dame could have got traded there, it would have been different. He could have bolstered that roster up a little bit and give Zion that necessary point guard he needs. But it's like with CJ, it's just like, yeah, you ain't Dame.
Well, let me look at the standings right now. The Pelicans are 10th. They got CJ. I think they can hold it.
They're gonna hold it because Portland is behind them, and like Portland is not gonna make it.
Yeah, and there's another team right behind them. I guess we should get into because what the hell is going on in Sacramento? Tyrese. I know you wanted to change the culture, but be happy you out. Be happy. You don't get the opportunity a lot. Be happy. You're very young. I mean, look what happened with DeMarcus. Okay,
DeMarcus didn't want. Marcus didn't want.
What's that?
He didn't want to leave. He cried.
I know he didn't want to leave, but good thing he left. Okay, play some meaningful basketball for the first time in his life in New Orleans. Of course, injury happened, but that was out of his hands. Sacramento that's where you go for your career to die. Okay, whether you're drafted there, whether you make the mistake by signing there as a free agent, nobody wants to come to Sacramento. Nobody wins in Sacramento. Nobody has won in Sacramento for 16 years. Tyrese Halliburton.
What about Chris Webber?
Huh?
What about Chris Webber?
16 years. 16 years.
It's been 16 years playoffs, and that last time they did that was Ron Artest.
And look at Chris Webber. Look what happened. All of false hope and promise. He got them to the Western Conference Finals just for them to get cheated. Okay. Then he got hurt magically, and that was the end of that was it.
They didn't get cheated. The Sacramento Queens, Sacramento Queens. Remember that. They didn't get cheated. Stop flopping. Take it like a man.
Tim Donaghy. Then Chris Webber got hurt. Okay. And then he had to go. Unfortunately, I said magically because Sacramento, just bad things just happened to you. And he went to Sixers, but that was already it for him. Be happy, Tyrese Halliburton. Be happy, Marvin Bagley. Hey, maybe you could do something in Detroit. Like I said, somebody got to score, so maybe that's you. Anybody that's out of Sacramento, be happy. And with that being said, I would like to apologize, Domantas Sabonis. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that they did this to you.
I know you clouded him right now, but I looked at.
Indiana had no respect for him.
None. Why would you do that?
I say this though. I say as much as I know you clowning the organization, I feel like after what we saw in last night's game, I feel like him and Fox could work really well with each other.
Yeah, in a good pick and roll situation and stuff like that. But it's like, did the team really get better, Jadim? It's like, did it really?
They're not going nowhere. Well, they at least they got some big, because it looked like they most of the time they just had guards. Like I don't even think they had any true big except for probably.
Also, I think the reason they traded Tyrese Halliburton is because I think they had too many guards.
That's what I'm saying. They had too many guards anyway. Like they didn't have no bigs. That's the reason why
they also traded Buddy Hield with that.
I know, but Buddy Hield, Buddy Hield, I think he's been secretly wanted to leave that place for a while, and he's been in trade talks all the time. He was supposed to go to the Lakers if LeBron would have chosen him.
That's true. But this is the thing with Sacramento, because you said they might have had too many guards, right? They drafted Tyrese Halliburton knowing they had De'Aaron Fox, knowing they had Buddy Hield. Why even draft him?
Davion Mitchell. They drafted Davion.
And they drafted Davion. This is it's the Kings. It's just in their DNA to be just terrible. Whether it's drafting, signing free agents, trading, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it's like with that. But you're right about the drafting. They should never even drafted that many point guards, those many guards anyway. But it's like I can see why they traded Halliburton, because you see Davion Mitchell, his development. I think he could be a really good player on Sacramento or any team he's on, because he's good defensively. He has good hands, good quick guard, quick handles, can go to the rack. He's a good player, even though he's undersized for an NBA player. But with Tyrese Halliburton, at least he can go to Indiana. But I'm curious about Indiana, what they're gonna do with Malcolm Brogdon in that situation. Because also he's injured, and he's the point guard for the team. So it's like, I think remember, they're breaking that whole team up in Indiana. So I'm curious where Marco Brogdon gonna go.
Yeah, I feel like, in my opinion, Indiana, after years of being just stuck in the middle in terms of good to make playoffs, but never really good to ever contend for a championship, I feel like they're just now in rebuild mode, in which now they're going to start trying to build up in different ways to try to build up that championship contender. Will they ever be one? Well, only time will tell. But in terms of Tyrese Halliburton having, they're going to get rid of Miles Turner. I believe that for sure. But getting Tyrese Halliburton is just a start in terms of their backcourt. Him and Chris Duarte, I feel like they will do well together too.
And like I said,
Buddy Hield.
And Buddy Hield. Well, yeah, Buddy Hield's a good piece, but
don't be sad if Sacramento traded you. Be happy, celebrate. It's the time of your life. Wasn't gonna do anything in there. And yeah, Jadim was right. Sabonis and Fox, I think they're gonna play really well together. They gotta play really well, winning 30 games.
Yeah, Evan.
I tried.
If this podcast ever gets, bro, Kings fans gonna listen to this and gonna come at you.
You see, Kings fans go harder than me. You see what they saying? They made a meme. It said they used the Kings logo and it said "fuck King, stupid." Like the Kings know what it is. They know their franchise is terrible. You just can't make this up. 16 years. They've been bad.
What they said, well said in handshake.
You just can't make this up. For 16 years, how have they been bad? Straight. It's been no gap, no break. They have been bad for 16 straight years. How? And at everything. They acquire no big free agency signings, no great players in the draft. When they do get a great player in the draft, they don't surround him. What?
Harrison Barnes.
They don't get great players in free agency. When they get a great player in the draft, they don't surround him with good enough key pieces around him. They never get a good coach for some reason. Like they never get good GMs or presidents. I don't get it. They never make good trades. I don't understand. How can they be this bad for 16 straight years?
I think it's time to move the franchise from a different city. I think just to move the juju.
Seattle, baby.
Jadim says that too, but I said, why would you put that legacy onto Seattle? The legacy carries over. Why would you want to do that to him? Now you're cursing Seattle.
Well, look at Oklahoma City. They ain't going nowhere since.
Listen, the Kings are dead. I think they will forever be dead. Just expand, make two franchises. Bring Buffalo back and bring Seattle. Leave the Kings to be dead in the water. That's all you need.
Las Vegas.
Buffalo and Seattle. It's just with the two expansion teams. One in the East, Buffalo's in the East, Seattle's in the West. There you go. 32 teams. Leave Sacramento.
Buffalo basketball team, bro.
There was Buffalo. There was the Clippers before there were the Clippers.
They were the Braves. They were Buffalo Braves.
Yeah.
Ew. Ew. I don't like Bills Mafia. Ew.
I don't do that to Bills Mafia. We're not gonna do that.
Niggas, those guys always jumping off of high places and like this.
I love them for it. They're excited. They're excited. Wait, listen. That's enough of my Kings rant. I shouldn't be ranting about a team that's been so irrelevant. Anyway, De'Aaron, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Get out when you have the chance. Don't stay, please.
Do not after that extension goes up. Do not resign.
Yeah, I respect it. You got your money. That's a lot of money. I would never say turn down. That's a lot of money. I wouldn't turn it down. But listen, after this, leave, please. You don't even have to go to a good franchise. Just stop the Kings, please. But that's enough. We briefly touched upon the Pacers and they're moving around in their trade. So let's get into Karis LeVert. He's in Cleveland. I think that was an amazing pickup by Cleveland. What a steal. Cleveland just put in the works. I mean, they're top 5 in the East, and they got Karis LeVert now and Jared Allen. And the Nets have none of those players they had before, and they traded Harden. So, I think it was a good pickup. You got a problem, Cherno? All right, we can move on. All right. I think, is there any more trades we should go over?
What about the Norman Powell one?
All right, like to move on. All right, Norman Powell's in Los Angeles.
Clippers.
Yeah, he's in Clippers.
That would be good. That's gonna be a bench.
That's good, but I didn't like. They need PG or Kawhi, one of the two, just come back.
I know, but imagine them both healthy. And
then I think that's going to be really good, having those pieces that they have.
I guess we could talk about Serge Ibaka going to Milwaukee. That's
a nice little pickup by Milwaukee, I believe. Unfortunately, they gave up my guy Dante DiVincenzo, but they won the chip without him, unfortunately. Yeah. So
they got Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen, who's been balling, so in place. So
yeah, just ask Caruso about. So yeah, Grayson Allen, he's been balling.
It's nothing new. He's been dirty. He's been dirty since.
But I think that's all the trades that we really need to go over. Might be a few that we missed. If it is, sorry about that. But we're going to move on to, I guess, say some predictions. Jaim, should we do some predictions and wrap it up?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
All right. We'll do some predictions for tonight's set of games. What?
The Lakers.
Oh, you want to talk about the Lakers? All right, we can talk about the Lakers real quick. What is there to really talk about the Lakers?
I'll talk about the Lakers.
They didn't make any moves, just like the Knicks, but I'm avoiding the Knicks because I really don't want to talk about the Knicks. The Lakers, they've avoided to make any moves. Russell Westbrook,
free Cam Reddish. Free him.
Anyway, like I said, the Lakers, they had an opportunity to trade for John Wall, but they didn't do it. They didn't feel like I was any. They wanted to keep
their first round pick. They wanted to keep their first round pick. Dummies.
I mean, yeah, but and then the Lakers didn't they just lose the other night to the Blazers?
Portland.
Oh man, should we even really talk about the Lakers? That's fine.
To G Leaguers without Russell Westbrook. You can't even blame Russell Westbrook for that. You can't blame him. You can't blame him. Like you, after that, I'm like, this is bad. This team's just bad.
They're trying to put the blame on somebody. They're trying to make somebody a scapegoat. It was Anthony Davis. Then it was Frank Vogel. Now it's Russell Westbrook. There is no scapegoat. Everybody can take the blame. Everybody.
Not LeBron.
Yeah, but LeBron, even though he had 30, he had 6 dumb turnovers, bro. To be honest with you, he had 6 turnovers. If you actually look at those,
LeBron has been the only.
LeBron gets 5% of the blame. LeBron gets 5% of it.
No. LeBron gets 10% because he's the one who okayed this team. GM my ass.
I say this when it comes to the Lakers. I say this when it comes. They're in a really deep hole right now, and I don't know if they're going to even work towards trying to get out of it. And we see what happens post All-Star break. But I feel like post All-Star break will be a great thing for them. I feel like things will get better post All-Star break, and I feel like they will establish themselves as the teams that they should have been, and they will go on to do great things. And obviously, just like what everybody says, say what you want about this Lakers team now. They may look terrible. They may not look scary, but when it comes playoff time, trust and believe, you don't want to see a healthy Braun. You don't want to see a healthy AD. You don't want to see a freak of nature Russ come playoff time. Well, actually, you probably do because he lost in the first round like 3 times.
Listen, by that time in LA, by the playoffs start, all their stars are going to be healthy. By that time, the best team in LA, they're going to be ready to go.
And now, but also, I think
I wasn't talking Lakers, by the way. I was talking about the Clippers.
Oh, you were?
Best team in LA. Yeah.
Let's see if Kawhi gets healthy or if Paul George even comes back. So
if they both come back, I think they can make some noise.
They beat playing.
But they have to come back like a month before the playoffs. If they come back at the start, I don't think they can win.
All I gotta say is there's only 2 teams that I'm looking at right now who can most definitely like just dust them in the playoffs right now, and that is the Phoenix and Warriors.
The Clippers?
They're the best team in LA right now. I can give you that. The Clippers are the best team in LA. That's
now, if the playoffs was to start right now, or the play-in was to start right now, because that's where the Lakers are, they would play the Pelicans, which I hope they could beat the Pelicans. Then they will face the winner of the Timberwolves and the Clippers. I mean, the loser of the Timberwolves and the Clippers. Which, to be honest,
is going to win that one.
Most likely play the Clippers.
I'm not gonna lie. If Timberwolves lose to the Clippers, I think Timberwolves can beat the Lakers. Which, yeah, Johnny, you get your little prophecy. Timberwolves in the playoffs. That would be so embarrassing. That would be so
Edwards is the best team, bro.
Hmm?
Anthony Edwards is the best player on that team.
All right, we gotta move on because I already know where this argument is gonna go to. So
hurry up. Start the predictions, please.
Just gotta move on. All right. Now let's go into some predictions for tonight's set of basketball games. All 3 of us picking at the same time. First, starting off, Hornets, Pistons.
Hornets.
Yeah, Hornets. I don't think that. Cavs, Pacers. Oh, Cavs.
Cav.
I think LeVert's playing. Thunder, Sixers. Spurs, Hawks. Congratulations, DeJounte Murray. He's an all-star because of the injury to Draymond. Well-deserved, by the way. He's almost averaging triple-double. NBA TV, 7:30. Nuggets, Celtics.
Nuggets.
Celtics.
Nuggets. Timberwolves, Bulls. Oh, God. Yeah,
Bulls.
Think hard about this one.
Bulls. There's nothing to think hard. I love Cat, but you know who I love more.
Yeah. Timberwolves. Magic, Jazz.
Jazz.
All right.
Take back what you said the last part.
Well, anyway, for fun, let's just do Saturday's games quickly. Knicks, Blazers.
Blazers.
I don't know.
Knicks.
Blazers.
Knicks, please God. Grizzlies, Hornets.
Grizzlies.
Oh, that's gonna be a good game, but I got the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies. Kings, Wizards. Wizards, we can skip over that. I don't need y'all to even answer that. Spurs, Pelicans.
Pelicans.
Pelicans. Wait, no, Spurs. I'm going Spurs.
Spurs. I'm gonna go with the Spurs.
He might play that.
Okay. I think he's playing.
That's cool.
I think he's
Yeah,
playing right now. I was just recording, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's playing right now. Oh, no, he played. I think he lost. Yeah, he scored 15 against the Heat, and he lost.
Oh, that's Miami though, so that's different.
Yeah, that's true. Where was we? Oh, Cavs, Sixers. Should be a good game.
Sixers.
Sixers.
Cavs. Nuggets, Raptors.
Nuggets.
Nuggets.
Van Vliet. That's Heat. Oh, no. Heat. Thunderbolts.
Nets.
Wait, hold on. As of this recording right now, the games are going on. Hold on.
What happened?
Let's take a second. Let's just take a second real quick.
Nintendo got cable, guys.
Well, let's see. Why pay for cable? It's a new era. It's a new age.
You don't got Wi-Fi. You don't got Wi-Fi.
I don't got Wi-Fi. I wouldn't be here. Hold on.
Using your cellular data.
Let's just look.
Johnson puts it in close. Irving got to get him up. Down three. Triple T gives it up. Thomas for three.
Oh, team is crazy.
Listen, I just want to show you that because he apparently thinks Turner thinks the Nets is going to beat the Heat. The Nets can't even beat the Wizards and are on a 10-game losing streak. So now they're on a 10-game losing streak. They're suddenly going to beat the Miami Heat. Is it possible? Sure. Just like the Kings can make the playoffs. Likely? No. So back to what we were saying. The Heat.
Do you realize you got an old man and a young man face combined?
The Heat. The Heat. Anyway, Thunderbolts, Bulls.
Vacation.
Clippers, Mavericks.
You save more? No way.
Yeah.
Turn on.
What?
Clippers, Mavericks.
No way.
Mavericks.
Every trip?
What?
Mavericks.
Whoa.
ABC 8:30. Lakers, Warriors. Wow, Warriors.
Yeah. Move on.
And Magic, Suns. But all right. It's a fun podcast, but it's time to wrap things up. Cherno, it's great having you on here. Special guest once again. Really, fourth time you've been on, or third time? I can't recall. Fourth time. Pleasure as always. You know what you're talking about most of the time, except when it comes to the Nets.
I know exactly. Stop playing with me.
All right. Let's wrap things up because Johnny got somewhere to be. So, thank you guys for watching today's podcast. Make sure you tune into next week's podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, support the channel, give us feedback, all that good stuff. Oh, stay tuned because we might have something special in the works very soon based off what the NBA just did a few days ago. But, Johnny?
Yeah, make sure you tune into all our social media such as Instagram and TikTok.
And once again, I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
I'm Cherno.
And this was the Mind of Basketball podcast.
Season number 2.
So probably didn't say DOS.